Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome again to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about what's the best lens for vlogging. And I noticed a lot of questions on my newest video, or the video before this one was the unboxing of the A6500, was what's the best lens for vlogging? What does Casey Neistat use? And with Casey, it's kind of different because he uses the A6500, he uses the A7S II, and he also has a bunch of Canon equipment. So which one is best for vlogging? And I know another question was, well, if he's using the A7S II, that's a full frame camera, will that work on the A6500? The answer is yes, it will. But since it is a crop sensor, the A6500, you're gonna have to multiply the millimeter or the focal length by 1.5. So if it's a 10 millimeter, then when it's on a crop sensor, it's gonna be a 15. So 10 times 1.5 gives you 15. So let's go a little bit in depth. I'm gonna use my Sony a6000, and we have it on the popular Joby, which a lot of vloggers use, to just go like this, see themselves, and so you can manipulate it. It's really cool, really inexpensive. I'll put the link in the description, and also check out my kit. My kit has all my equipment for going down from my editing hardware down to what I use for photography and videography. So check that out. And it has all my lenses that I'm talking about today. And also we're filming on the 35mm f1.8, and another lens that we won't be using in this one, but I just picked one up and I just wanted to share with you is this one, the 90mm macro f2.8. Favorite lens for photography. Haven't used it for videography yet, but check out this lens. This is probably one of Sony's sharpest lenses. Anyways, so today we're going to be talking about best vlogging lens for the Sony a6500. And I brought two of my, what I would think would be the best lenses, okay? So as you can see, let's get the autofocus going. So we have the f4, and this one is 18 to 105, and then we have the f4 10 to 18, okay? So what are the differences? Now the 10 to 18 obviously isn't going to give you all the way up to a 105, but they are an f4 aperture. When you're going down to 10, you will notice that everything, it's a huge wide frame, so everything's going to be in focus since it is an f4. With you being about this close, you won't get so much as a blown out background as if you would on f2.8, or if you could find a prime that was like a 1.8. But that's totally up to you, depending on the look that you want to get. This is just simple run and gun vlogging, what's the best lens. Now, with this lens, when, let's say I'm vlogging at 10 millimeters, so the widest it can go, when I'm, if I'm going like this and I want to say, hey, look at this out here, just kind of using my hands, keep in mind that your hands and your arms are going to get blown, out of proportion. So your face and your body will be nice and slender since that's in the middle of the focus, but when you're coming out, it's going to be blown out. So I don't know if that's something you want to look at. Also, when you're panning through like a scenic moment, you might want to bump it up to 18 millimeters, because then you'll kind of get this distorted look, especially when you're panning a nice landscape. I noticed that when I was in Playa del Carmen. I was trying to do the beach at sunset, and I noticed that it was just kind of a weird distortion when you're moving, left to right, right to left. So just keep that in mind. Now, this one's my favorite, okay? This lens is probably my second favorite to my 90mm. This one's probably the most practical. The only downside is that it is an f4, so it's not the best for low light. However, mirrorless cameras are better in low light, and they're improving the ISO sensitivities anyways, so this does fine for me. Just make sure you're filming maybe near some close light, or just pick up an LED pack for your kit. Right now I have my kit hooked up with a microphone, a monitor set up on top, and if I wanted to, I could put in a small Manfrotto light kit, which is probably about that big. So that's another, added light to your camera, just in case you're not around any light sources. But keep in mind, these both are f4, like I said earlier. This one, why I like this one so much is you have the zoom lever, okay, right here. sorry, you'll notice that I'll be hunting around a lot more because I have the screen facing me, so everything's flipped like a mirror. So you might see me hunting around a little bit more like that. Anyways, so zoom up and down, very quiet. You can control its variable zoom, so it's not, you go up and it's a quick zoom in and quick zoom out. I can easily determine how fast I want to zoom in and out of my subject. Great for landscape photography if you're trying to do some punching in and out. That's also good. And it's also, when you're zooming, it's internally, so your lens isn't getting bigger. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, when you put these on the camera, so I'll attach it to my Sony a6000. You'll notice that this one, the 1018, is a lot more compact. Okay, so when you're vlogging, you don't have a camera lens sticking right at you. And again, this one zooms in as well to 18 millimeters. Okay, you're not getting that extra depth. Your lens isn't sticking out. So nice profile, very good for run and gun, very good for travel. Everything's lightweight. It's not like I'm holding a big fat DSLR like a 5D Mark III or Mark IV. Very nice and lightweight, so perfect for your A6500 or any A camera, Alpha series camera. So let's put on the other one. Now, like I said, this is close to almost double the size with the hood on. And you can keep the hood off. I recommend keeping it on just for, especially when you are running and gunning. You're not going to damage the lens because you have that hood on. So always keep it on. And then it also blocks from, light hitting it at different angles and ruining your shot. So let's put this one on. And you'll notice, I might even have to step back a little bit. And you notice that it is, a lot bigger. It's still nice and light, still nice and steady in my hands, but it is, bigger. However, I rather have this at 18 millimeters, okay? I'd rather have that at 18 millimeters walking around, and then boom, there's a subject that I want to zoom in on that, I want my viewers to see. I can easily zoom in to 105. So keep in mind that with this lens, it is a crop sensor, so if you're zooming in, you'll be at 18 at the lowest, so that'll be 18 times 1.5, or you'll zoom into 105, which is 105 times 1.5. Okay, so just keep that in mind, especially with this lens, 10 times 1.5 all the way to 18 times 1.5. Okay, now, can you use full frame lenses on a crop sensor like this? Yes, you can. This guy is a full frame lens. And you can see right here, when it says FE, those are your Sony full frame lenses. They still work the same, just again, keep in mind, this is a 90 millimeter, so it's gonna be 90 times 1.5, and that'll be your new millimeter, your new focal range. So yeah, just keep that in mind when picking up these lenses. It's not a huge deal, but yes, you can use full frame on crop sensors. Nothing's gonna change. However, when you go to crop sensor lens on a full frame camera, then that's when things get a little iffy. I wouldn't recommend that. Just don't do it. Keep it to the crop sensors, okay? And then upgrade your glass to full frame. Now, so what we're gonna do is try, and I'll let you see how the different lenses look so you can see, what I was talking about with the 10 millimeters being kind of weird when you're going like this around the camera, how everything just kind of gives you a distorted look. So we'll jump into the a6000 for the video and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hey guys, right now we are on the f4 10 to 18 millimeter wide angle zoom lens. So this one's on the a6000 and I'm holding my Joby stick. I'm about fully extended, partially just kind of loose bent arms, just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, you'll probably see that most everything is in focus, right? So now when I punch into 18, it's a little bit more focused on my face. When we go back to 10, let's make sure, yep, back to 10, you'll notice that when I go like this, things are a little bit distorted, okay? So as my arms are coming towards the lens, everything's getting a little bit distorted. Now we'll switch over to the other lens, but here's another thing. I can get a little bit closer to my face and you can blow out the background just a little bit slightly, okay? So keep those in mind. That's 10. And then now we're at 18, okay? So just keep those in mind. Okay, this is how this lens looks. It's gonna be the same as the other one because we are at 18. That's the minimal focal length that this one will allow. And then you can obviously zoom in on the side. Now keep in mind, I don't know if it looks that different, but this lens is a little bit closer to my face. So the frame might be a little bit more zoomed in. We'll see once I put all this in Premiere Pro. But you can also, again, zoom in and zoom out, which you obviously wouldn't do when you're vlogging, but if you ever want to zoom in, there's my rig, there's me, and then zoom back out. So there you have it, guys. Those are the two lenses that I recommend. I'll put the links in the description. You can see if it fits in, you know, which one fits into your budget. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've tried any of these lenses. Again, this guy is my favorite lens, but it is a little bit bigger. Price point, I think they're about the same. I want to say this one might be a little bit more expensive. Okay, so keep that in mind. I think just by a little bit, maybe like $100. I don't know why. Maybe there's just more glass on the inside for that ultra wide angle zoom. But yeah, let me know what you think. Comment down in the description. Hit me up on Twitter. I'd love to chat. And then follow on my Instagram. I'm just now getting into photography, videography. So let me know what you think of my shots. That'd be awesome, and I'd love to connect with you guys. Anyways, thank you, and I'll look forward to showing you the next video. Bye.